Hello and welcome to Lockdown Learning with Tragic O'Hara. Today we're going to learn something that I didn't know till earlier this morning. We're going to take some of the stuff we've already learned. We're going to take a bit of the 8-bit music that we made. We're going to take a bit of the 8-bit animation that we made, and we are going to make it all into a video file. To do that, we're going to need to do two things. The first thing we're going to need to do is download a program called Blender. That's the first thing we're going to need to do. Blender is a free piece of software and you can do lots of stuff with it. Now there's a bit of selfishness here with me because I've been wanting to learn Blender for a while. So this is going to force me into learning how to use it. You can use it for sculpting 3D objects, so 3D rendering. You can use it for visual effects, you can use it for 2D animation, you can use it for video editing, and it's all free, and I've been wanting to learn it for a long time. So I'm going to, and so are you. So that's the first thing. The first thing is go and download Blender. And the second thing is, there'll be a link in the description. If you go to my website, I have made some pixel art animations that we are going to use to make this file. And once you learn how to make this, you can then make all your own. I really like fish, and I really like Pokemon. So I've made a Magikarp fish bowl, a Magikarp bowl, and that's what we're going to make today. So you'll notice that the first thing is you won't see my lovely face during this because Blender is so complicated. It's not complicated. It's not complicated. It's not. Don't worry. There's so much going on in Blender that if I put myself up, you'll probably miss something, and I won't see that you're missing it, and then the whole video will be terrible. So you will only see me sporadically, which is a good thing or a bad thing, depending how you feel. So when you first open Blender, you'll see this, and it'll give you an option to pick what we're going to use. So today what we're going to use is we're going to use the video editing part, and this is what will open, right? Now, I know it looks complicated, but I literally learned this 10 minutes ago, and I'm now teaching you, so don't swear it, right? Don't swear it. You've downloaded my folder with all these files that we're going to use, and you've downloaded Blender. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come here to, let me explain Blender a wee bit first, right? It looks crazy, but up here is your browser. This is where, hold on, I need to use my Radioactive Man mouse mat. So what you've got here is all the, this is your Explorer. So all the things that you're looking for, like all the files you're going to use, are up in this bit. This bit here is all about your dimensions, like if you're wanting to move things about, if you're wanting to make things bigger or smaller. Down here will change depending on what you add into this frame. And this here is your timeline, okay? I use Adobe Premiere when I edit, okay? But that costs money. This is 100% free, and there's loads of stuff you can do with it. But for free, it's kind of mind-boggling that this is something you can just download and start using. There are thousands of tutorials on YouTube. Thousands. So if you're looking to do anything, someone will have a tutorial up there so that you can learn this. Here, your wee bar here, we're going to go to add, right? And you can add loads of different things into this timeline, but the first thing that we're going to add is a sound, right? So we're going to go sound, we'll go to desktop, because that's when I know I've saved my Magikarp files, so we're going to open that up. You'll see my absolutely horrendous amount of files that I keep on my desktop, but Magikarp Bowl. So you've downloaded this from our website and you open it up, and I've made a little bit of Magikarp music which will change your life when you hear it. And hit add sound strip, right? Headphones on. When I hit play, that'll play the music, it'll play the entire timeline. But if I zoom out here, if I come right down to this, the very bottom bar here, and I click this, if I move it that way, I am going to zoom in on my timeline. If I move it this way, I'm going to zoom out. Now, what happens here is when I press play, that playhead will go back to the start. We have to set how much of this we're going to use. So if you cut, this is why you won't see me in the wee screen, because you won't see these bits. You'll just see my big, lovely coupon. Down here on the right hand side, you'll see start and end. That black line there, if we start to click this arrow, we'll move it all the way up so that it goes to the end of our piece of music. And when I hit play this time, you'll notice that it'll go all the way up to here and we'll look back. So, fingers crossed this works. There you go. Right, so that's you set how much of this you want to use. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add our background, because this bit up here is a preview. Right, this is what it looks like right now. There's nothing there. It's just a transparent background. If we go back to add, and we go down to image/sequence, inside here you'll see all our different stuff, right? So if we hit background and add image strip, there's our background of our Magic Art fishbowl. If you have a look here, these are called strips, right? When you use something, when I use Adobe Premiere, they're clips. You're importing clips. Blender, they call them strips. And you'll get 2 arrows on either side of each strip. Now, because this is an image, I won't have to worry about it. If it was a piece of footage, that clip will obviously have a beginning and an end. Whereas with an image, you can make it last as long as you want. So if I take that arrowhead and I drag it back there, and I then take this arrowhead and I put it up here towards the end of my clip, and I'll move my playhead here, you'll see the whole thing has now got that background. Okay, so now we can start adding in the pieces that we want to move and manipulate into this piece of footage. In a short animation. Now, to make our life a wee bit easier, instead of going to this add all the time, if we go up here to our browser, we'll go to desktop, double click that, and you'll see everything on the desktop. On the desktop. And we go to Magic Art Bowl, and there's all our images, right? Now, I'm going to take that closed treasure chest, and I'm going to drag it down and add it on here in the image strip. But what you'll notice is straight away it looks... What Blender automatically does is when you import an image, it will fill the image into the screen, but we don't want that. We don't want that to happen. What we want is we want to come over here to our right hand side, and you can see here you've got adjust and transform here. If we click that offset, it'll make it the actual size, which is that. Now the same will happen with the other treasure chest, so we're going to drag our second frame in, and we're going to click that. That's going to go on top of that, but we want to move it down next to it, like that. When I move this playhead, you'll see it looks massive. So if I press play right now, you'll see what happened there. So back over here, offset, and it'll make it the same size. Now if I come over here and I press play, you'll start to see this animation start to take shape. Right? Cool. But they're tiny and they're all the way over here in the corner. I quite like the length of them. The same thing you can use here again with your arrow tools is you can make it shorter or you can make it longer. I think when I had fish for a long time when I was growing up, and that kind of bowl, the ornaments fill it with air and then they pop up, so they don't just flap like that. Again, pet shop expert. They kind of, it's a slower movement, so we don't want to make the frames too short, because then it won't look right. So that's probably about right. But it's all the way over here, and it's too small. It's too small, and it's right in the top of our rock, and that makes no sense. We now need to make these smaller, but before we do that, if we take, if we click on the first clip, hold in shift, click on the second clip, and we go to strip, and we come down to make meta strip. What that does is that combines the two of them together. But we cannot see our background now. If you come over here, so you've got adjust and your compositing piece here. And this drop down menu, blend. Basically what happens with Blender is it tells, once you do this, you need to then set it to see everything that's underneath it. Okay? So if we go to our drop down menu and we go to alpha under, if we go to our drop down menu and we go to alpha over, not under, alpha over, it will bring your background back in. Next, now that we can see our background again, everything's cool, we're going to go to Add, Effect Strip, we're going to click on our chest, we're going to go to Add, Effect Strip, Transform. Right? Now, it's done the same thing again. The first thing we need to do is we need to get rid of, we need to mute the chest animation. So to do that, you go to Strip, Lock Mute, and mute the strip. Okay? You go to Transform again, back over here to our compositing, and alpha over. Okay? It seems complicated, but honestly, see, once you do, now you've done that once, the next one will be easy, the next one will be easier, and it will just be second nature. Now that we've done that, if we come over here to our effect strip, you can see your position on your x-axis and your y-axis. So your x-axis will move it along this way, if you drag that up and down, and your y-axis will move it up and down, like that. So let's get this into position. Let's just drag it along until I think it will look good over here on this wee kind of mound of sand that we've got set up. We'll move it up a wee bit, like that. Now, for a scale to make it bigger, we're going to click this little button here that's Uniform Scale, right? And that'll mean that if we don't have that clicked, it'll go this way and not, it will go the x-axis and not the y-axis. So it will make it look kind of as if it's been squashed in a vice. But if we click the Uniform Scale, we can start to press up. Now, it'll move this because it hasn't been set to its, I can't remember what it's called, but your Y point, I think it's called. It doesn't matter anyway. For the process of this, just keep position it back and forward until you get where you want to be. So say about there, I'm going to drag it over a bit more and up we go. Done. Our chest is now in place. Now, if I press play, there we go. But it doesn't last the full length, right? So we're just going to duplicate each one of these strips. So I'm going to click on my chest strip and the transform strip. We're going to use a shortcut. Right? We're going to use, depends on your Mac or PC, but for Mac it's Command C, for PC it's Control C. You probably know that already. Command C and Command V. Now, it'll move it all the way up here, but all we need to do is just drag it down like that. Now, the more you do this, the easier it will be. So we're now going to highlight them all. Again, Command Copy, Command Paste, and just move them in like that till it takes up our whole space, like so. Now, take the playhead back, and when I press play, it'll play all the way through. There we go. Right, we're going to do that with 3 or 4 other pieces. So if you missed anything there, don't worry about it. We're going to do the whole thing again, but change some of the things slightly. Right, so we're going to go back up to our seaweed. We're going to come back up here to our Explorer. We're going to drag a piece of seaweed in here and add an image strip. Again, it's going to make it look all weird, but we're going to hit Offset again to make it that size. We're going to take our other bit of seaweed and we're going to move it in again, put it at the end of the clip, hit Offset. We're going to take this bit of seaweed and we're going to do the same again, drag it down here, hit Offset under the transform thing, and this time this is kind of mirroring the Super Mario walk cycle that we spoke about before, where it looks like it should be 4 frames or more, but it's only 3. So we are going to duplicate the middle frame. Alright, instead of drawing everything again, we'll take the middle frame with the seaweed straight and we're going to drag it in here, and we're going to put it there, and we're going to hit Offset. Now, when I press play, you can see the seaweed doesn't move fast enough. So we're going to shorten each one of those images just by using our arrows here. Now that says there it lasts, that's our 26 frames. Now we're going to drag this down to maybe, let's try 10, okay? And we'll do the same here. Now, a bit of maths, we know that this now needs to go down to 20. We're going to drag this over here. This will need to go down till the number becomes 30. Oh, 34. 30. I'm going to drag this over. Drag that down until it's 40. Okay, now let's press play and see what it looks like. Moves a bit more naturally. As naturally as what a pixel art animation will look. Am I out of coffee? No, I'm not. Yes! But it's freezing. So, to be fair, I quite like it in front of the rock. You can move it wherever you want, but I'm going to keep that just looking like that. So again, we're going to click and hold shift on every single one of the clips. We're going to go to the strip drop down and go to make meta strip. That will just push them all together into one clip to make it easier to copy and paste. We are going to hit, we're going to highlight it, we're going to hit Command C or Control C, and we're going to paste it in and drag it over like that. Now, what happened? What happened? Again, it's because we need to change the blending mode on this for this to work, for it to make sense. So, again, over here to our adjust, which sits here on the right hand side, we're going to drop down to alpha over. And we'll need to do the same with the other clip. Alpha over. Now, when we copy and paste these again, fingers crossed we shouldn't have to do it again. And we don't. Copy paste, and that will be us now at the end of our thing. Take our playhead back to start, hit spacebar for play, or you can use this wee thing down here. And that's starting to look pretty cool. It's starting to look a bit more natural and stuff. We've only got 2 more things to put into this. We'll put a magic carp in first and we'll leave the bubbles to the end, okay? So again, up here to our browser, drag in a magic carp. He looks quite strange. Where did he go? He went over here where the playhead is. So, bearing in mind, I should probably tell you this again. So, if for any reason you make a mistake, highlight it, highlight the clip you want to get rid of, go to strip, and delete, right? The shortcut for that is X, okay? This will drop in the image wherever your playhead is. So this blue thing here is a playhead, and we're going to put that back to the start, drag it down, there we go. Now, what do we need to do? Offset to make it look a bit better, to make it look like the actual size. Drag in the second image, put it right at the end, and hit offset. Now, all this magic carp does is move up and down like he's floating. That's all he does. But I don't like him there. I don't like him there. So what we need to do is push these 2 images together, and to do that again, highlight them both, strip, make meta strip. Okay? Again, everything disappears over the blend, alpha over, and it comes back. So now we need to put another transform strip in so that we can manipulate this again. To do that, add effect strip, transform. Okay? Click our magic carp, go to strip, mute strips, back to transform. Our adjust moves down now because it brings in this new effect strip thing. Go to replace, alpha over. See? Second nature now. Struggled the first time, third time doing it, second time doing it. Doddle. We'll position our Magikarp using our X and Y thing over here on the right hand side. I'm going to put him above. In fact, I'll put him here. I'll put him just there. But I want to make him bigger. So again, our scale, that's what's going to happen here unless we hit 0 that again, or 1 that, sorry. Unless we hit our uniform scale. Right, it's going to squash it either way. We're going to make him a bit bigger. That's a good size for a Magikarp, isn't it? Drag it up here, like that. Right, let's press play, make sure it's looking good. I like the way it moves with the chest, with the treasure chest. Total geek. Click on your magic art, click on your transform, Command C or Control C, and then Command V or Control V, and move our thing in like that. Make sure the two of them match up. We'll highlight them all this time. Command or Control C, and then Command and Control V. And one more should do it. Sweet. Playhead back to the start. Let's have a look. What we could have done, looking at it now, is we could have maybe set the treasure chest and the magic up to move as with the drum beat, which is a really nice tip when you're editing. If you're editing something and you've got music, edit to the music, edit to the beats. Whenever I'm editing any sort of videos or stuff like that, I'm constantly just keeping a beat so that it just makes it look better. So we could have done that, but for next time. Right, bubbles. Now, when I open up, if I come back up to my browser and we're going to go to the bubbles, this is lots of small images, right? These are layers. I basically lifted this straight from Sonic the Hedgehog, from that horrific labyrinth zone, when that and you would get so frustrated because you knew you were going to drown and there was nothing you could do it and the big bubble wouldn't come out to the very last bit and then he would drown it anyway. Really destroyed my childhood, that game. So I've got these all named in the way that you should be importing them. So we're going to drag in bubble 1. And where did it go? It went where our playhead is because I'm not listening. Remember, shortcut X for erase strip. Take our playhead back to the start. Drag in our bubble. Right, now these need to be much shorter because these bubbles are going to be and then disappearing. So we are going to drag this down so it lasts, let's try 3 frames. We're going to get rid of our offset again. And we're going to struggle to see this to begin with because it's right down in here, right? But let's just keep going with what we're doing. Drag in the second over the top. So 3, 6. So they both last 3 frames. Hit offset. This bit's going to be a bit time consuming, but trust me when I say this. This is nothing compared to like stop motion animation or any other sort of animation. It takes a long time to get things looking properly, like looking right, looking I totally forgot how to count there. 12, 15, 18, talking and counting there, 18, 21. How many was that I done? Sorry, let me count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're now on frame 8. So 24, frame 9. 27, frame 10. frame 10 will be 30, frame 11, which is our last frame. And we'll move that to 33. Now, we'll need to go through these and offset them all because I forgot to do that as we were going, so that looks okay. Offset, this one, offset, this one, offset. So yeah, animation like this is really labour intensive, so but it looks cool is the main thing. That should be them all now. So let's press play and see what this looks like. So you can see the bubbles very shortly. Just we'll highlight all of these. Now you can either highlight them holding shift and click, but you can also click and drag across to highlight them all. Go to strip and we'll make this a meta strip again so that it's one complete thing. And what happens is, well, that's actually pretty handy because it's get rid of our background so you can see it better. So you can see the bubbles kind of that's the sound effect that should be there, obviously. It's feel free to sample that. Right, so we've highlighted the strip. We're going to go to blend again, and we will alpha over so we can see it. Okay. Now we'll need to transform this because that's not sitting in the right place at all. So strip, add effect strip, transform. Right. Highlight our bubbles. Down to strip, mute. There we go, there's people outside my garage talking, can you hear that? Transform, again to adjust and compositing, and we will go to, what was it again, alpha over. And that's it back. Right, our transform now. What I would suggest doing is we need to see all our bubbles. So let's move our playhead till we can see all our bubbles. And we'll start to move this. Where's a good bit? I think maybe as if it's almost coming behind that hill. And let's make them bigger. Let's make them a bit bigger. Let's make them... Yeah, that's a good size. Let's keep it there. In fact, is it? Because what might happen here is the top of the bubbles might disappear. We don't want that. Because I spent ages making the bubbles. Ah, perfect. Right. Playhead back to the start. Hit play. Okay. Now let's highlight these, command copy, and start pasting them in to fill the whole frame again. Or the whole workspace. Oh, one more. Just to cover that last bit. Right, now let's go and take our playhead back and let's press play and see what the whole thing looks like. I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with the way that looks. Right, now that we've done that, we now need to render that out as an audio, not an audio file, as a full file. Okay, so that we can, we need to render this whole thing out as a video file so we can then upload it to whatever we want, or put it on YouTube or any, whatever our plans are to do with that, right? It's a bit different from some of the ways you would use other programs, but what we need to do is come over here to our output. Now, this little folder here will save to the destination that we want to save it to. So what we'll do is we'll navigate to desktop, Magic Art Bolt, and we'll save it in the folder where we got all the files. Our file format, we are going to set it, when you open it up, it should be set to PNG, but then what will happen then is it will export everything as individual files, individual images. We don't want that. So we want to go to FFmpeg video. And encoding, under encoding, we can change it to MPEG-4, which is MP4. Most videos, most mobile phones and stuff will film in MP4. I don't know a lot about video outputs, but MP4 is the best way to go when you're exporting in Blender with stuff like this. You can set your output quality to whatever you want. I've got mine set to high because I know my Mac will be able to deal with it. Our audio codec, right? We are going to make sure it will be set to no audio. We want to set it to AAC. I don't know what that means, right? I recognise MP3, but all I know is when I render things out in MP3, it doesn't work. So we're going to use AAC, which could stand for anything. Now you've got all of them done, and you've set that up, move over to your render window and your render drop down menu, and you go to render animation, and it will open this up. Now this will render in not in real time, but you'll see the whole thing being rendered out. There's a progress bar down here at the very bottom, and I'm just going to cut to when this actually works. There's no point in me just rabbiting nonsense for the next 10 minutes. So here we go. Right, so now I've navigated to my file, and I'm just going to press play and we can have a look at it. Nice one. So We could get more in depth than that and add in fades and all that sort of stuff to make a finished file. But you now have the tools to make some music, make some animations, and export them as PNGs, import them all into Blender, and make your own animations from beginning to end using free software. So nothing here costs any money. And the more you do it, the more you'll learn, and the more you learn, the more complicated it'll be. And that's it. That's a kind of first stage of finishing. So I know that one was a bit heavy, but now that you've used Blender before, we can start looking into some other stuff using it. You can have a wee go making your own stuff and post them into the Facebook group. There'll be links in the descriptions for that. Also, if you join the Facebook group, let me know what else you'd like to learn. I've got some plans for the next video, which I'll be putting into that group or on my Facebook page later. Remember to hit the subscribe button. Also, you can get me at Mr. Tragic O'Hara on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, and on Facebook. I think that's it. And I have started a GoFundMe page for this. I've made a video about my whole plan of what we're going to do with this. But if I continue to make these for the next 3 to 6 months, we will have 60 videos, free videos, that people can use to learn all this sort of technology for free. But I'll also be sending them around the schools, so the schools can use them as a free resource. Youth workers could use them as a free resource. Go and watch the video, I'll explain it a wee bit more, but there's a link in the description to my GoFundMe page, and if you can contribute, then that would be great. If not, don't swear it, it'll be fine. And thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers. It's like having a cyber pet.